Hi guys, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, April 7th, and today's our actual first science class. Even though I've been hanging out with you guys pretty much since this started, we're going to start to do work together and explore the different ways that we can do work. So I want to take you through some features for Google Classroom that are for you, right? So the teachers have been working really hard to master all of this and get all these things online for you. And everybody's pedaling away, getting activities and how do I put it up? Do I put it up as a question? Do I put it up as a quiz? Can I make Google Classroom do this? Can I make it do that? What if we meet? What if we don't meet? So people are really trying hard. And then I thought to myself, well, what does it even look like for the kids? I know what it looks like on the teacher side, but what does it look like on your side? So I thought it would be important to go through a couple of things. And when you see how absolutely user friendly and how much this is going to help you be organized, you will understand why Google is our overlord, right? Google is the education overlord pretty much of the United States right now. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to talk about. So there's a whole bunch of features here to help you keep your acts together, right? I'm sorry about the glare from the kitchen window. There's a whole bunch of features to keep your act together, right? We got widgets, we got a calendar, and we got a to-do list, which is something you guys probably are not really looking at. So what I did was I made some Google Classrooms in my personal account, and then I made another account and made myself a student in my own classroom. So I am a student in the classrooms where I am also the teacher, and I'm assigning work, and then I have to go in and find my work and submit my work. And so anyway, I did this so I could demonstrate for you without blowing up some other teacher's classroom or the science classroom, so I could demonstrate for you some cool features that I hope will help you stay on top of things now that all of your classes are doing things in Google Classroom. And I know I showed you the schedule, right? But let's face it, we're doing things on our own time. I still got kids handing things in at 3:00 in the morning. Some of you are sharing computers with other kids in the house or your parents who are working from home. Or let's face it, some of you are telling your parents that you're in your Google Classroom doing your work. So let's see how I can keep track. If I've spent 3 days fooling around and not doing what I was supposed to do, and now I know I already have to catch up, even though that would never happen to any of you guys, I'm sure. Here's some things that can help you out, right? So here are my 2 Google Classrooms. I am a member of Test Class 1. So these boxes on our screens, these are widgets, right? They change as things in the classroom change. So what's cool about the widgets is if a teacher puts an assignment up that has a due date on it, keep in mind, only if it has a due date. It's not going to show up if it doesn't. It will play out on the widget. It'll load the little box. So as soon as I sign into Google Classroom, I don't have to go digging into each classroom and say, oh, do I have something coming up for math? Or I think I have something coming up for science. I can just look at the widgets and everything that's got a due date is going to be right there on the widget. So that's helpful thing number 1. And the cool thing about the widget is I can pass through stopping at the stream, right? Because if I click the classroom, that takes me to the stream of the classroom like this, right? But if I go back and I click the assignment within the widget, you see it can take me directly to the assignment. All right, so that's the number 1. That's one way you can kind of have this visual of everything that's going on. The problem with this is if it doesn't have a due date, it's not going to show up. Now, if you prefer a different type of view, you can use a calendar view. So if I go to my Google Classroom and I hit calendar, what'll happen is it'll open up a calendar in a weekly view, and I set it to all my classes instead of just one class, and it can show me everything that's due and where I am. Because let's face it, we're all at home forgetting what day it is, right? So I can open the calendar view and go, oh, it's actually Tuesday. Who knew? And see clearly how my deadlines are creeping up on me, right? So, or heaven forbid, something that's already passed and now you're like, oh, it's late, and you can get to it, right? The cool thing, you can click right out of the calendar and get right into the assignment straight from there. So that's a second way you can do it. Another feature that I like is the to-do list. Now, why do I like the to-do list? Because everything will show up in the to-do list, whether it's got a due date or not. So right now there are 2 assignments in my to-do list. But the cool thing is also that it puts it in order. Now, I had an assignment in here that had no due date, and that was at the top of the list, which is cool because then you won't forget that you have this like dangling assignment out there that you have to handle, right? So the to-do list is cool. And again, right there, I can click straight to the assignment. And the cool thing about using the to-do list is it also keeps track of my work that's done, right? I can go to the top, I can click the done tab, and there I finished a checklist. I already turned it in, right? I don't have to go back to that. Okay, so that's the different ways that the Google Master Overlord can keep us organized and help us stay on top of all this. Because let's face it, remember at the beginning of the year when we talked about that old adage, with great power comes great responsibility. And we talked about how the power that you had been bestowed was your actual freedom, right? You had a space all to yourself. You had your locker. You were able to walk yourself from class to class to class, instead of like ducklings in a line like they do at elementary school, right? And we talked about the freedom to kind of pick and choose the people you want to hang out with. And we talked about how all of these things meant you also had a responsibility. Each one of those things had a responsibility attached to it. This is no different, okay? Except that all of a sudden you've been given a lot more freedom because now you have this 24-hour day. And trust me when I tell you, some of you are using the 24-hour day to get the things done. Some of you might have parents that are trusting you to get these things done. Maybe you have parents on the front lines of everything that's going on during this time, and they're actually going and leaving your house and going out to work for you and frankly for everyone else. So you have that extra responsibility of no one's breathing down my neck to get this done. So the responsibility that comes with that is you staying on top of these things. And yeah, I get it. You're just a kid, but you're almost not just a kid. And Google's making your life a lot easier right now. So click that to-do button and make sure you just get those things off of your list, okay? Next, the different ways to hand in work. This way, you have no excuses. I couldn't get the link. How do you turn it in? I forgot to attach. No, 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 no. All right, so I'm a student. Here's my to-do list. Now, the first thing that I did already was my checklist. This one was easy. This is like the one that we use to do quizzes in class, right? I check it. It's in a Google form. So I literally just have to fill out the form, check. This one was a checklist to do work, check. And nothing is spelled right because it's completely and totally gibberish. I was testing it. And I hit submit. Boom. Look how easy my life is. I can look at my score. This one's letting me submit another response. This one's letting me open the assignment back up. All right. Now, let's forget that one. We're done with that one. If I go back to my to-do list, right, and I go to the ones that are not done, I see I have 2 assignments, right? So the first one is an assignment. And I also want you to notice that the sidebars of each assignment are color-coded to match the widgets I gave my classes. Not that I remember which is which, and you guys probably have many more classes than me, but it could be helpful if you're that kind of person and like colors do it for you and make it stick out for you. Okay, assignment number 2, let's look at it. Assignment number 2 is just an assignment. The teacher has left me directions in my imagination, and it's my job to submit a response. So this leaves more up to you. I want to add or create the work, right? By clicking this, it gives me a choice. Am I typing something out in a Google Doc? Am I doing a slideshow? Am I doing something in Sheets that you guys probably have to stay away from until you get more training because that's a spreadsheet? Or am I drawing something, right? We're actually going to use that in science. You know we love that. I can only imagine how absolutely artistic my drawings will be once I have to use a mouse pad, a touch pad, and not my hand and a marker and a whiteboard. Who knows what could happen? So I will choose how I want to submit this work. I am creating a document. When you click it, it makes the document for you. Ding, 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 ding. And it opens it right up. I type the response. There's my title. It's for my teacher, and that's the name she gave it. And I'm going to type my answer. You ready? Not working. Not working. There it goes. The ideas are just pouring out of me in RFTITC format. Okay, and I'm done. So guess what? I don't have to do anything. If I know I'm done, I go to turn in. Do not share. Do not share. Do not share. Use the turn in feature. Because if you use the share feature, the teacher will get an email that says that you did it, but it will not show up in the Google Classroom. And we have a lot of kids. And if we don't remember to coordinate the email with the Google Classroom, it's going to be a disaster. Okay, so turn it in. I turn it in. Excuse me. I've turned it in. Come on. Oh, I got lost. I'm going back to my assignment. Right? Or I can use the turn in feature in the class. Either way, it gets turned in. And then what the teacher sees, I'm going to show you teacher view. Is this. Boom. My student turned it in. Isn't that wonderful? And then the teacher clicks that and she can see your work like this. Or he, sorry about that. Right? And teacher can open and read my work. If you don't click turn in, it might not be attached. That happened a couple of times when we did the survey result analysis. Some of you turned it in and I saw your name in a box over here, but there was nothing attached to it, so I couldn't enter you in the contest. All right, back to the next one. The other assignment just has a question. It says, answer this. And then it gives me some answers. It was a single question, so it's not on a form. It could be here, and it could be a short answer, or it could be a multiple choice. This single question that the teacher posted for me to answer is multiple choice. Yes, no, maybe so. Maybe. Turn in my answer. I can't change it once I turn it in. Boom, it's done. It's in. Now, and it tells me I turned it in. If I need to talk to the teacher, there are two ways to do this about a specific assignment. I can simply put it in the class comments, and then it will show up in the stream underneath the assignment that the teacher posted. Or I could type something here, which will send a private comment to my teacher. Maybe you have a question. Maybe you realize after you answered you want to change your answer, but now you can't change your answer. Whatever it is, you privately message the teacher. This does not get posted in the classroom. All right, so I go back to my to-do list, and guess what? Woohoo, it says no work to do because I have completed all 3 of the assignments, turned in. And now I can YouTube myself into oblivion, or TikTok myself into oblivion, right? Okay, that's it. I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys actually in about half an hour in the science classroom. Bye.